Good afternoon, everyone. Um, we're so sorry about shifting the class. The class was supposed to hold at 11 a.m., but we we had issues with our venue, so it had to be resolved, and that's why we are an hour late. So please, you guys should bear with us. So today we're going to talk about building a simple Flask app, building a simple web app rather, a very little interface that will be able to interact with our model. Our model is supposed to be the the backend, while we build a very simple interface using Flask. You can build your interface with other languages you think you know very well, but for this project we are using Flask. So today we're going to walk us through on building a very simple way to building a simple interface that can be able to interact with our model, in the sense that once you come to the web app, you have a place where you can values, because as we can all remember, the last classes we've had, Monday and Tuesday we've been working on a California data set, and we, we want our model to be able to predict the prices of house based on certain values, based on certain attributes. So today we want to just build a simple something that anyone can access and impute your values, impute the values of your house, impute the price, impute the probably the age of the house, the location of the house, um, and then you can now click on somewhere that will react, that will work with the model, which is serving as our back end, and it will display the price for you. It will run through the model and display the price for you on this simple interface we're about to build now. So I need you all to pay attention while we go through this. So first, you need to open your VS Code, because we're going to use VS Code as our code editor for today. Then the first thing we have to do, we have to go to our terminal. Open your terminal. Okay, our terminal is open. Also, make sure you have Python installed in your system. That's Python 3.2. I think that's the latest. No, Python 3.12. Yes, Python 3.12.3 is the latest version. So make sure you have it installed before we go for this. So moving forward, we want to install Flask and all its dependencies and the dependencies of our model, so that it can be able to run. Not just building an interface that will not be able to run. We have to build it so that everything will work together. So doing that, we have to create a file, a folder, and we can name it. Okay, let's say create a folder. Open your terminal. We type in make directory. So we can decide to name our app. What can we name it? Okay, let's name it California, or let's say Cali. No, let's say California app. California underscore app. Okay, so this should be the name of our directory. You hit enter, and we have created the California app. So this is a folder. You can as well come to your desktop and left click. You can click on new and create a folder here, and you can still name it the California app. But in this case, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to hit enter because I've already created this thing, but I used my terminal. I used my terminal here to create it. So if you look here, you will see directory, you see the C/users. If I move to this directory now in my laptop, I will see this California app. Okay, but if you don't want to do it this way, the easiest way to do it, you can do it like this. So I have it already. I think I will have to delete this now because I have it already. So navigating to this file path, we can see, okay, let's navigate to it. Let's open the file explorer. You come to the PC, local disk, which is the C, go to users, my name, and let's look for California app. Okay, here it is. So this is the app we created using the terminal. So anyone that works for you, that's fine. Okay, so now we have created a folder called California app. Now the next thing to do, we have to create our virtual environment inside this California app, because this California app, it has nothing. It's just like an empty folder. There is nothing inside. So we have to activate our Flask environment inside this place. So to do that, we have to type Python, then hyphen m. This hyphen m means module, then venv. So this venv rather. Okay. So this venv means virtual environment. In this case, we are trying to tell Python, please create a virtual environment for us inside this California app. So once you are done typing that, this M means module, in case you're curious to know. So hit enter, and it's going ahead to create our environment for us. So we'll have to wait while it creates an environment. Right, it has created an environment for us. You can see this tiny dot here, this tiny blue, is that blue? Yeah, this tiny blue dot here, it means that our virtual environment is successfully created. So when you navigate to this place, okay, oh, okay, we haven't opened. Okay, now it's time to open this California app. Now let's see the virtual environment we created inside the California app. So we have to cd into the California app. We have to open the California app. Code dot opens the app for you. No. cd into California app. Okay, we are in the California app. Then we have to open it into the VS Code, and here it is. So this is our California folder app that we just created. Okay, so this is it. Okay, now let's create our environment. Like I said earlier, creating an environment, the Flask environment, I have to type Python -m, then virtual environment. I don't know why Flask has to make it double, but that's how it is. So hit enter and wait while it creates an environment for us. No? Okay, so this is our virtual environment, as you can see under here. So it's a folder, and if we open it, we can see the different directories it has set up for us inside the virtual environment. So moving forward, we have created our virtual environment that will enable us to work with Flask. First of all, what is Flask anyway? Flask is a very light Python framework for web applications that will provide basics for your URL routing and page rendering. Please, if you can see my screen, can you give me a reaction? Alright, so going forward, we are talking about Flask. Flask is a very light framework is a very light Python framework for web applications that will provide basics for your URL routing and page rendering. You can also call it a micro framework because it doesn't directly provide features like form validation, database abstraction, authentication, and so on. So we have created a virtual environment. The next thing we have to do is to activate this virtual environment because as it is now, it is inactive. Sorry, let me close this because I think it's obstructing my view. Okay, now it's clean. So the next thing we need to do is to activate our virtual environment, which we just created. So to do that, I have to do venv again / script capital S / again activate. This command will activate this environment, this venv for us so that it can be active because right now it's inactive. So you hit enter and we can see this venv beside this line of code that is in green color, showing that this venv is now active. I think we're having a network connection because some people are saying that they can't see the screen. Please, I'm sorry about that. Is it better now? Alright, so we've activated our venv, our virtual environment is active now. Now the next thing to do, this is for Windows anyway. If you are using Mac OS or you are using Linux, it's a different command altogether. So this one is for Windows, but for Mac OS and for Linux, you have to type source venv / not /. This one is / bin / activate. I'm not going to run this because I'm using Windows, but if you're using Mac OS, this is what you're supposed to type so that you can activate your virtual environment. So I hope that's clear. Now I have to delete this quickly. Okay. The next step is to install Flask. Okay, so to install Flask, we have to do pip install no, my bad. That should be Python -m pip install Flask. Okay, then we hit enter. Okay, it's installing Flask for us, so we'll have to wait. Cool. So it has installed Flask for us. Meanwhile, we still have our venv here. We still have just venv here. So our Flask app is installed. Now the next thing to do is to create the application. But creating the applications, we'll have to come over here, come over to our file path here. We would need to have folders, we will need to have files, so that we also need to have our model too for us to be able to achieve what we want to achieve. So let's say the first thing we want to do now is to let's start with an HTML and CSS code. Then doing that, we have to click on this space here. Clicking on this space here, you click on folder. This is a new folder, this is a new file. You come to the new folder, click on the new folder. Let's call this one static. And you create another one, click on this again, create another folder. Let's call this one templates. Good. So now we have static, templates, and vim. But inside the statics, there is nothing inside. Inside templates, there's nothing, and we just have something in vim. So we have to. So statics, in static, we need to create another file inside. That is where we will have. Okay, let's start from templates. From inside templates, we need to have another file named HTML. So clicking on the template itself, because we need to build this, we need to put the file inside this folder called templates. You know, all these things are folders. Vim is a folder, template is a folder, static is a folder, and California is a folder as California app is a folder that holds all these folders down here. So we need to create files for these folders we created. So clicking on it, then you have to click on new file. That is where you will see that this new file is under this template. But if you would come to click here and come here to click the file, that means the file you will create is just under here. It should be inside templates. So the file we want to create is for only templates and not for California itself. So you click on templates, you go to new file. We will need our HTML to be here. So that's where you will have to add your index.html, and here we have it. We have our index.html, but there is nothing inside. Now we'll have to add our CSS too. You click on static, new file, and we'll name this style.css. Perfect. So we now have our style.css and our index.html. So this index.html is like when you open a web page, for example, when you open a web page, let's say this is what we have. All these things you're seeing here, everything you're seeing here is all this text, these images, whatever it is we are seeing here is made of HTML, is built with HTML. So we have to use this to build our app. Then entering, okay, let's host this online so that as we are building, we are seeing what we are doing. Okay, so come down to your terminal, and we will still need to build requirements for our Flask app to run, our model to run. So the requirements folder is a new file on its own. So you don't have to impute, you don't have to build it into anywhere. Just click on the file and name it requirements.txt, because it's a text file. Requirements.txt. Okay, requirements.txt. Make sure you have your S. Okay, so all these things are what we need. Inside these requirements, we need our dependencies, so that our app can run very well. So checking back on the model we worked with on Monday and yesterday, this is our model, as you can remember. So our model has pandas, it has matplotlib, it has seaborn, numpy, all these libraries. You have to have them installed. Let me shift this aside. Okay. You have to have all these things installed. And installing them is not just installing any one. You see, you have to install the latest upgraded version. So let's start with Flask, capital F, Flask. You have to install, this should be capital F, Lask, equals 3.0.3. This is the latest version of Flask. Scikit-learn. If you don't install all this, then you can't interact with your model. You can't interact with your model. So you need to install them so that you can be able to work with your model. And equals the latest version of this is 1.5.1. Then the next one we want to install is pandas. Yeah, we need to work with pandas because it's here in our model.py. So we install pandas equals the latest version is 2.2.2. To verify this, you can go online and verify this is the latest version. Then we still have matplotlib. I'm sure you're familiar with all this. Equals what's the latest version of this? Okay, 3.9.2, and then seaborn equals 0.13.2. All right. So these are the dependencies you need to install, the requirements you need to install for this whole thing you're doing here to work. Okay, then if you really want to know how we found that this is the latest upgraded version, just come down to your terminal. Sorry, let me expand this so that you will not be confused. Just come down to your terminal. Let's peep show. We've installed Flask already, so let's peep show Flask. This should show us the latest version of Flask. Alright, so name Flask version 3.0.3, which is what we have here. Yes, so let's check for scikit-learn too. You can check for the rest, but let's check for scikit-learn. Pip show scikit-learn. Pip show scikit-learn. Hit enter. Okay, we haven't installed this, so we have to pip install scikit-learn. We'll have to wait for it to install. Most of these libraries take time to install. We're still waiting for it to install. Why is it taking so much time? Okay, here we are. It's done with the installation. Now we can now can you see my terminal? Okay. Can now pip show the scikit-learn. Scikit-learn. This is supposed to show us the latest version. Okay, so here it is. Here it is, version 1.5.1, which is the latest here. So if you do the same, if you follow the same process to install pandas, matplotlib, and seaborn, you will see that these are their latest versions. Okay, let's clear this terminal so that it will not be too buggy, because some of us are complaining that we can't see my terminal. I'm so sorry about that. So sorry. So henceforth I'll be clearing my terminal. CLS. Okay, to clear your terminal in case it's too packed up, just type in your terminal CLS like this, CLS, and hit enter. It will be cleared. All right, so where were we? Okay, we tried checking for the version latest upgrade for these dependencies here. Now we have to install our requirements. We have to install all these things here. If not, they're not going to work. It is just like written text that Flask does not recognize. So we just have to install them. So to install your requirements, you have to run this code. Python pip -r, no, pip install, sorry, requirements txt. I hope I'm right. Yeah, I should be right. Hit enter. Okay, I'm right. So all these things here, all these requirements, they are being installed. That will take a bit of our time, but we need to wait while it installs. What's happening? Okay, the requirements are installed. So we need to clear this again. CLS, enter. So it's clean. Now we need to create our Flask application. We'll come over here. You can actually do this in the terminal, but let's just use the easier way for us to catch on easier. Okay, click here, this empty box, and we need our Flask app, and we need to import our model here too. So we have to create separate files for them. Not folder, separate files for them, because if you create it as a folder, it's going to be messy and it will take much time, much longer lines of code. But once you create it as a file here, it will be much more easier, and it will be much easier to have access to. So we have to create a new file, and what are we going to name our Flask app? Let's name it app.py. Okay, this is our Flask app. There is nothing inside yet, and we have to create our model too, a model file. Click on this file too, and we'll name it model.py. Enter. Now we have everything we need, but they are empty. So we have to proceed with creating our normal Flask app. That's what we're about to do now. All right. So we have to import Flask like we do on our normal Jupyter notebook and collab them. So we have to import Flask from Flask. Import Flask. Okay. From Flask, import Flask, comma. What else are we importing? We need to import the render template. We also need to import requests. These things, okay, I'll get back to these things later, but just import them. I'll explain them later. They are JavaScript classes. And also we need to import JSONify. How do you spell JSONify again? Oh my god. JSONify. Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead to importing our model. So from model, that's here. That's this model. We're here to load the model. From model, import load data. We are doing this because sorry, I should have loaded our model. We have the model already, so it's not something new. It's not something I figured out in my head. We have the model already, starting from Monday's class and Tuesday's class. I'm trying to copy the model that we've been working with. Model.py. Alright, here's the model. Let me copy. Alright. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to load this model first so that whatever we are doing in app.py can be understood. So this is our model. Oh god, what's this? It's scattered. wahala. I think this is giving me problems. Let's just go to the repository on GitHub. GitHub. Alright, here it is. Please don't be confused. I tried copying the mod. Where is it again? Okay, I tried copying the model from this notebook here. But this in a document format, so the thing is scattering the code for me. So I'll just have to go to the repo on GitHub because it's just pushed on GitHub. I'll just have to copy it from here. I suppose we are familiar with this GitHub stuff because of yesterday's class. Please, if you are not familiar, I'm sorry you have to watch yesterday's recording. I will not have to go back to it today. So go to the GitHub repo, you copy. Okay, this is the app.py. Okay, no, this is the model.py here. Alright, this is it. So I'll have to copy everything. Copy. Cool. And come over to our VS Code, paste it. Perfect. So now this is it. Inside this model, we have a function named load data, preprocess data, train model, evaluate model, predict price, and okay, that's all. So coming to our app.py, we have to this is our Flask app. This thing alone is our Flask app. Then this Bemb here is the environment that you need to activate so that our flasks will work. Because without this, let's say these templates are not here, this index.html and static and style.css, assuming they are not here, you can still work with this. It's just that you know that you will not have a front end. But the main front end we have here is just this index.html and this style.css. That is what you're going to see displayed on the browser screen. But this app.py and this model.py is what will be happening at the back end. Now, for our back end to make sense in this front end, we will have to use this Flask app named app.py. So we have to come here. Well, let me split this thing so that we can be seeing each file side by side. Open to the side. Alright, let me close this. And okay, app.py should be here. No, let's move model.py over here. Close this. Minimize this terminal. Alright, so from model, import load data. The load data is not strange. This is the load data here in our model. What next? You have to import this too. This preprocessed data here. You have to import it too. So, comma, preprocessed data. Okay, VS Code is highlighting it for me. Thank you very much. Preprocessed data, comma. The next thing is train model. You have to import it here. Train model, comma. What next? Evaluate model, comma, and predict price. Okay, we are done. We're done with whatever we are importing. App equal to Flask open bracket name okay. Where is our load data? Okay, copying this into our app. Copying it into our app and at app dot routes bracket. Okay. Define the function. Okay, let's call this function you can call this function anything. Let's call it index or maybe home. Let's call it index. Index. You know what the function is already. No, hold on. I'll still explain what all this thing means. And let's say we want to return. What do you want to return? This is what we want to return. As I want to return return index.html. Okay. Alright, so this app.route here. This means when someone visits the homepage URL, let's say our URL is let's say we have an URL. We know what URL is. Let's say when someone clicks on that URL, it should run this function. It should run the index function. So this app.route, it sets up the home page. Let's say in our URL, okay, let me give an instance. Where is my browser? Okay, let's say this is my browser. Let's say where should I go now? Okay, let me use LinkedIn. I'm gonna use this tab. Okay, let me come here. Let's say LinkedIn. Alright, you see this linkedin.com. Let's just clean this /feed. You see linkedin.com is a URL. Click on it, enter, it will take you to the LinkedIn homepage. Sorry, my network is slow. It will take us to the LinkedIn homepage. Let's wait while it loads. This is taking so much time. Alright, so this is the LinkedIn homepage. No, this is not what I asked you to do. I said LinkedIn homepage, linkedin.com. Okay. Alright. Oh God. Okay, let's say we want to go to a different tab. So let's say we want to come to jobs. We can come here, clean this slash feed, and maybe type slash jobs. It should take us to LinkedIn jobs. Exactly. So these are the jobs. So this slash jobs slash is what this thing is trying to. Where's my VS Code? Is what this app. Okay, is what this app route means. It means when someone visits it, this sets up the homepage. This is the homepage. So let's say in the homepage in our web app we have somewhere like settings. So whatever name you name your app, let's say you name it california.com. Then you see this slash here. It means you're on california.com. Then let's say you want to take yourself to maybe settings. You see settings like this, settings like this. So I hope we understand that. So back to where we were. This sets up the home page. Then whatever page you subsequently click on to keep demarcating with this thing. So when we click on this, then this function should run. This function should run when a user visits this home page. So we want to, this is a function that defines the index. Let's say this is index. Okay, let's call it home. Maybe index sounds too big. Let's call it home, for example. And we want, when someone clicks on our home page, it will display the index.html. But for now, there is nothing in index.html. Let's just say we want it to show hello data nerds, congratulations. All right, let's say we want it to display this. Hello data nerds, congratulations. So we want to see this on our browser. We'll have to come here and run this app. So to run this, let me bring this up so that we can see what I'm doing. Okay, we want to see this on our browser. We want our app to return this thing for us. We'll have to come here and run it. To run this app, we'll have to type in Python app.py. That's we want to run this particular file called app.py. See it here. We want to run it. If this is not app.py, let's say you named it main.py, you come here and type Python main.py. But what we have is app.py. So we just run it. Why is it not showing me my app? It's supposed to show me my app. How do you run again? You run with dev index. Okay, where is it again? I think this is the case. Python app.py. why this is not running. It's supposed to display. Whoa, what's this? It's supposed to display this on our browser. Okay, I think going for that, we should sort that out. But for now, let's just hold on. Don't return anything yet. Hold on. My bad. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm running already. People should not be angry. We are not done. Okay. Let's say if name, it's if the name of this app is equal to main this is what I'm supposed to have done. app.run debug equal to true. This is what I should have done. Alright. So this means if this name, this is the Flask, is equal to main, like main is not like the name of the app. Like if this is inside this thing, please run it. I don't know how to explain it, but if this Flask app is inside here, run it. So when you now come over here, you type your python app.py, it's supposed to show. Yeah. Alright, so this is it. If this Flask is inside this place, run it. That's what this code snippet means. So to go to our browser and see this hello datanet, congratulations, we'll have to come to this place. You will see where there is warning. This is a development server. Do not use it in a production deployment. Use a production whatever server instead. So you're not supposed to use this method. You don't do this at home. So control click on this localhost. Now this is a localhost. Localhost means that your app, whatever you are building here in this place, is hosted on your laptop only, not not online. It's hosted inside your laptop. That is what this thing means. That's what localhost means. So to show this thing that we just did now, this hello datanet, congratulations, just put your mouse over here, control, and click on it, and it should take you to the web page, which is hello datanet, congratulations. Alright, having done that, we'll have to go further to develop our app, because it's really going to be a long way. So let's clean this. To stop running, in case you want to stop running your web app, just click Ctrl+C. Ctrl+C, and it stops running. Okay. Ctrl+C. And okay, let's clear this to have enough space so that we can go to our main let's wipe this because we don't need it anymore. We don't need it anymore. So what we need to show on our web page now is our index.html. Now we have to navigate to that index and start building our app. Remember, what we said we are going to build is just a very simple interface that will help us to impute our values and predict our price.
You need the trivia. You know the thing has gone down.
Addressing a question on the chat. Let's go back to here so that I can address that question. Let's say we want to see something on our browser. I don't think I need this model.py again. Let me expand spaces so that we can be seeing what we are doing. I don't need to split my screen. All right, let me shift this. And this, do I need no? Okay, I need my browser. Let me shift my browser. And I hope we are okay. I need to expand this. Let me shift it small. Okay. And wow. All right. As I want to see, congratulations, you are home. Let's say we want to see it here. If you refresh this, okay. Let's say we want to see this thing here. Okay, it can't be reached again. Yes, that's what I expected. Let's say we want to see this. Congratulations, you are home. I want to see it on our on our browser. We'll have to come here and run Python app.py. We want to run this thing. This little Flask app we just created. We want to run it so that it will display over here. So Python app.py, enter. And it pops up. Let me increase this. Okay, it pops up something. You can see serving Flask app, debug mode on, warning. Debug mode on is on because I told it to be on, which is here. Debug is equal to true. When running the app, set the debug mode to be on. That's what I did here. So warning, this is a normal warning. You don't do this at home. In a production deployment, rather, I mean to say. Then it is running on this local host. This app, this Flask app, is running on this URL, on this thing. I hope you can see it. Then to go to this place to see what you are doing here, you have to click on Control and click on it. Once you hit the Control button and click on it, you can see it here. It's set. Congratulations, you are home. So this now, as we go further, this will be our URL. This 127.0.0.1:5000. This is going to be our URL. So whatever it is we want to develop, whatever it is we want to build, to access it, you have to come here. This will be our URL. So whatever we are building should be displayed over here. I hope we can grab that. So we don't want this on our web page. What we want is to build our simple interface like we talked about earlier. So we have to render index.html saying, please return whatever you have inside here for me on the web browser. Okay, whatever you have here, whatever you have inside this HTML, please show it to me on my browser. That is what this thing means. So now let's head to index.html and create something to see if it will actually. Let me bring this down or stop running. Let me stop running. Control C stops running. So as I have clicked on Control C, it has stopped running. And if I come here to refresh, I won't see this thing anymore. I won't see this congratulations, you are home. So our index.html, we want to create a simple interface. Now, to create an app on to create a simple interface, you have to type in this exclamation mark. We use HTML5. I wouldn't like to go into details into that because it's a very long process, but just know that we use HTML5, which is this. Once you type in your exclamation mark, just this first one, please, not the second one, not the second one. Click on it and it pops up. It sets this thing up for you. So what you now have left is to add in whatever you want to add into the body of your web page. So this is the doc type. The document type of this file is HTML file. This is like the skeleton of what we want to build here. Before we can apply this CSS, give it color, give it padding, give it whatever we want to give it. But this is our HTML, and it is set to English language, which is HTML language English equal to English. This is the head. The head, anything inside this head should not be visible on this web page, on this place. Then this is the title. The title is something you are supposed to have here. Let's say, let me use LinkedIn. The title. Oh God, what did I do? The title that will pop up here. So let's change this to what should we name our app again? No, California app, Jerry. Okay, this is the title of our web page. So I want us to be seeing what I'm doing here. So to do that, we have to come back here, Python app.py. You cannot just keep typing this all the time, in case it will be tiring to you. Just use your left arrow key. It will show you a series of the commands you've entered in your terminal already. So going back to this host again. What's this now? What is this? Okay. All right. Control click on this. What's all this now? I don't know what I'm saying. Why is this not showing me? Why did I even end it in the first place? There's one problem with all these things. I think I'll have to close you and start again. Oh. This thing is very funny. I'm sorry guys. I'm supposed to type just index and I typed index.html. That's why it's giving me all this wahala. Showing me the same thing. Let me see on this. Let me clear everything. Start afresh. CLS. Okay. Am I actually supposed not to type HTML? This thing can be tiring. Python app.py.
That's good.
Control click. Still giving me the same error. Attribute error. Function object has no attributes. HTML. Hold on while I try to sort that out. Render templates. Let me delete this. And expand this. It's supposed to have this. Oh god, debugging. Debugging. You can imagine. Python.py. No module name Flask. Okay, import Flask. Oops. Install Flask. No module name py. Why is that? I imported Flask. It should be. Okay, let me check if this is a problem. Pip install Flask. Install Flask. Really? Let's check it out. Still same thing. No module named pip. Why? Install Flask. Why is this giving me error? Why is this giving me error? What's this? I'm sorry, I'm trying to sort this thing out. I wonder why this is giving me error. This is the CLS first. Let me clear this first. Let me create another route. Let me create another route to see if it works. App.route. App.route.
Like, feels exhausting.
Yeah. Okay, app.route. Ready. I'm supposed to put this thing inside. Ready. Method equals to post is something I want to post. Square bracket. Post. Okay, this thing sets up another route. So let's check if that should be the problem. Go back to HTML. Let's just put something in the body first. Let's say let's put a paragraph and say this is a web app. Okay, and run our app.py. No module named Flask. Why? Why is there no module named Flask? I imported Flask. I installed Flask. Okay. This is interesting. Let's just ask ChatGPT because I can't seem to understand what's happening here. Copy. ChatGPT. What's this work here? Let's see what just ChatGPT has to say. Send now. This usually means that Flask isn't installed in my Python environment. How? Pip install Flask. No module named pip. Wow. Okay. Asking ChatGPT. Install Flask within the virtual environment. This is installed already. This is Java is included in Python's installation. Okay. No such file or directory. Wow. should not be this case. This is underlined because Flask is not installed, but Flask was installed here. Run the requirements again. Run the requirements again. Python install requirements. What's that? Oh. There's no module named pip. Where is this coming from, please? Where is this coming from? Requirements we just installed. Install r.txt. I know what I did. I don't know why they're not seeing each other. What's happening? This is not real debugging. Up to UI. This is just a problem. So why is it happening like this? Okay. Flask. Import. Flask. It doesn't show here. Import. Flask. It doesn't even recognize this one anymore. Render template. Okay, recognizes this one. So what's happening over here? ChatGPT. I don't know what's happening to my connection, but wait, let me ask. What is the error here? I can't find any error. Okay. Thank you for the suggestions. If you're encountering an error, you'll be able to check the specific error message. Python version. I'm using version 3.3. Let me just close this VS Code and reopen because this is going out of hand. And it has disappeared. Oh God. What's all this? Right. Let me run this app again first. Where's my index? Okay, this is a web app. Go back to app.py and let me run this trailing comma. Where is the trailing comma? Not allowed without surrounding parentheses. Oh. Supposed to pre-process data. Pre-process. Supposed to show me these things. Did I not spell the pre-process very well? Let me just do this first. I really want to check out that index.html. No module named Flask again. Okay, let me install. How do you install Flask again? Wow, Python. Pip install Flask. No module name Pip. Okay, Python 3 and pip install Flask. Requirements. No module named Pip. Why is there no module named Pip? I've been using Pip since how long?
Press you can control save now.
That's it. Let me run it again. No module named Pip. No such file or directory. You get okay. We'll definitely sort you out because I don't know what your problem is. Install Flask. I'm trying to install Flask as well, but I'm sure I installed Flask and even showed the version of the Flask I installed. So what could be the problem? What could be the problem? Let me check. Let me check my Python version. CLS Python pip version No module named pip. Why do I have a module that download gets people? Okay. Sends me here to download pip. Oh, that's not what I want. Say import. Let me try and import it here. Import. And try to import it in the requirements. What is the Python import pip? Such file directory. Get pip.py save download. Wait. Pip is not installed or is not properly configured in your Python environment. So how to fix it? Download get pip from this link. This link is actually not working because I've clicked on it before. Wow. Do I import pip here? What am I typing? Downloading Python 3.2. Please, guys, can we have a 30-minute break so that we can sort this out? While we try to sort this thing out, please let's go for a 30-minute break and we'll return. Hopefully, before the 30 minutes elapses, we should be able to sort this out. I'm so sorry for the inconveniences. Please bear with us. Thank you.